welcome to the Opposition Preview. So, hello Bleed Norwich viewers, it's time for another Opposition Preview. The international break is over. It was a good international break, I must say, some entertaining games. But EFL Championship action, Philippe Clement's first game in charge as Norwich City head coach, and we go to St Andrews, Birmingham City. And today, representing Birmingham City, I have Brummie Joe. Joe, how are you today, mate?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm excited for club football to come back. International on the international stage, it's been really good, but obviously watching England, it is in almost an arrogant way. It's kind of boring how good they are. So there's none of this late drama, but it was actually really good to see.
Yeah, it was more entertaining than what it has been in previous years. So at least we got a
Yeah,
positive there. The football element didn't quite go away. We still got to watch some very, very good games. But yeah, like you say, EFL Championship action back this weekend. Birmingham at St Andrews. You seem to be a force to be reckoned with there. Your last two home games, winning 4-0 against Millwall as well, which is a hell of a result. You guys
yeah,
must be flying at home.
yeah. I mean, we had a pretty long unbeaten run at home, which I think it must have been the game before those two 4-0 wins that we actually lost it, thinking about it. I think we had 26 games unbeaten there. Since Knighthead came in, they've really focused on improving improving the general match day experience and making it a place where fans want to go to. A lot of that's on the pitch, but a lot of it is also off the pitch. And it's been incredible what they've actually done. And we're at a point now where we're hitting sellout after sellout after sellout. And I think you've got to agree really that contributes and that helps the players, knowing you've got so many fans backing them. So yeah, it's good. I'm very, very confident when we do play at home. But also, I'm sure Clement is coming. We faced a team that had just had a manager depart in Middlesbrough, and Rob Edwards' situation. That kind of galvanised them. And then I saw you sack your manager, and I was like, typical, brilliant. So not 100% sure what to expect, but I'm sure he's going to want to try and frustrate the home fans from the off, make us a bit angry and kind of get under our skin a little bit. So it'll be an interesting game for sure.
Yeah, that's it. Because you guys haven't had the perfect start, I guess. Because I think the expectation for Birmingham around a lot of EFL Championship fans was top six. You currently find yourself sitting 11th, a very sort of mixed bag this season. 6 wins, 3 draws, 6 losses. It's your away form that's letting you down. Your home form seems to be quite solid. But yeah, there is, I guess, that sense of uncertainty with Birmingham. Where do you see yourselves come the end of the season? Do you think there is still a playoff push in Birmingham?
Yeah, I do think so. Yeah, I've had to kind of temper my expectations a little bit from the start of the season because we went into the season with a brand new team. It's totally different to the team that went down, and a massive investment all over the place. So you don't really know where you're going to sit until you go in there. We faced Ipswich at home first game of the season, and you're just thinking, at the time, Ipswich we thought were going to be flying high at the top, doing what Carver are doing right now, pretty much. So when we had a performance like that against them as well, and Kyoji looking the way he did, I was like, we're going to be right up there. We're going to be top 2. But it didn't work out that way. We've had issues with, I think Chris Davies hasn't known his starting 11 for a long time, but he does now. And I think that we're only going to get better, in my opinion. We're only going to grow into the season. And I think he's nailed down his starting 11 now. He knows his back line, and it happens to be somehow Iwata's claimed that right back place. We've been thinking for a while, how do we fit Paik, Iwata, and Doyle into this team? And it turns out you just need to put Iwata right back. But yeah, it's looking good. The only kind of downside at the minute, and one that might lead into January, is Paik. He's had a big injury against Middlesbrough in the first couple of minutes, and I think that really threw us. So that is an area you might look to exploit. That central midfield area, he controls the games. You talk about those 2 4-0 wins as well, and he scored the first goal in both of them, coming off the back of some criticism from some areas of the Blues fans. So yeah, it's going to be a really interesting game, I think. yeah,
Yeah, no, the Pake injury. I'm glad you touched on it because it was a big talking point of mine because he has been phenomenal for you guys. I remember we played you guys in last day of the season. You beat us
yeah,
1-0 at St Andrews the day you got relegated, and he ran the show. I believe he scored as well in that game and absolutely ran the
yeah.
show. And he's such an impressive player, and I think, like you say, he's going to be a massive, massive miss for you guys whilst he's out injured. But I will just touch on Chris Davies, your manager. I'm very torn on him. Obviously, he came out of the blue when he joined Birmingham. Hadn't really had a whole sort of wealth of experience in sort of a big managerial role like Birmingham. What are Blues fans' sort of opinions on him?
I think he's got a lot of credit in the bank. You're always going to have areas of the fan base with different viewpoints. You're going to have your new, your modern football, your data, the people that are more um, I wouldn't say understand, but they kind of get what the owners are trying to do with data led approach. You've got the old school brigade, and you've got a mix. So when you see things happening, it is frustrating. I I thought at one point he was going to be. It was just before those 2-4-0 wins. We had an open house, which is like an event where Tom Wagner speaks and they get the players and the manager and they'll talk about different things and the progress the club's making. And there was a lot of thoughts in the air about his team selections. How does that work? About recruitment, this, that, and the other. So yeah, it's not been really plain sailing, but I think people forget and people have short memories. And he did a huge achievement with us in League One. I know we had a lot of money, but we signed some really good players. We signed Stansfield for 15 million in League One. But with that comes pressure and maintaining that consistency over a season against teams that, every single one of them is parking the bus against you. And you've got to find an answer every week. I think that still takes some real managerial skill. I also think getting those players who probably think that they're playing below their level, which they were, to kind of dig in and not get complacent. Now, there's so many aspects that people don't really think about when it comes to that, and you just see it as like, yeah, of course they're going to win League One. We broke the record, 111 points. You can't knock it. And I think coming into the championship, there's different challenges that he's facing, and I do think he's learning. I don't think he's perfect, but I think there should be, managers should have more time to build things that they want to build. And especially when you look at Birmingham City, which are it's like a career mode rebuild, right? You're not going to get everything right first time. Signings, maybe even tactical decisions. You're facing different types of challenges, different types of teams. But I think he's growing as well as the club. And I think it's kind of like mutually beneficial. And I'm glad he's got that credit in the bank because I would hate to see us just panic and then become one of these teams that just cycles in and out different managers, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I think you're spot on. I think Norwich are becoming that club at the minute. The managers we've gone for over the last few years is ridiculous. But yeah, it's interesting to see what you say about sort of the pressure that comes with the money that Birmingham did spend in League One, because obviously it was breaking news everywhere across the globe that Birmingham, the huge spenders in League One, £15 million on Jay Stansfield, and I mean I wouldn't say I can kind of resonate with that, but somewhat see where you're coming from a Norwich perspective, because we spent a bucket load of money in the summer. With playoffs being the expectation, we signed Matthias Kvisgoren, who was set for Champions League football supposedly with Lens or with Celtic, and he joins Norwich, and we're signing these high-profile players just to be 23rd in the league, and it's sort of it's massively backfired on us. And I think like the pressure that the sporting director's under and everyone at the club has just fumbled. But I will just want to touch on Jay Stansfield, because I think he is a very underappreciated footballer. Obviously scores a lot of penalty goals, but you got to be there to score them. I mean, you've got to be able to step up. And I think Jay Stansfield is a fantastic player. He's got 6 goals, 2 assists so far this season. How important has he been?
Jay, his I think he goes underappreciated, and I think a lot of people, he had a reputation in League One for football Twitter accounts to be what I'm trying to think, Pensfield or something, like he only scored penalties, this kind of thing. Like, yeah, we so he has been underappreciated by people that don't watch Blues, I think, and I think there's a lot of you could tell who knows the stuff and who doesn't. You know, if you look at some creators, they will say he's an absolutely unbelievable player because they're probably taking the time to watch him, and some will just look at stats. But he just does so much in terms of the kind of the way we play our press. He's the start of that. Every single press is like right on them. He will drag us. If we're not probably playing 100%, he will always give everything. I think one game in particular was Blackburn away, and we looked down and out 1-0 down, and he was just chasing absolutely everything. We ended up winning that 2-1, and it's just I'm not used to seeing that kind of player down the Blues. There's so much more as well. He just creates so much space for his other players as well, and it's not a lot of it you can't really put down as like stats, you know. But he is starting to score goals as well. He missed a big chance against Middlesbrough, but like that's just going to happen. But on the flip side, I think, and you might want to talk about him too. But there's another player called Kyogo for Ashley who is at some point he will come good. So you just got to hope it's not against you guys.
That is another player that I definitely did want to touch on because Kyogo is one. When watching sort of your first few games of the season, I remember watching you playing Ipswich and you playing Sheffield United in the Cup, and he was so impressive. Just his movement off the ball, I thought was an absolute joke for Championship level. And like you say, he is one of those players that I do agree with you. He will come good. It's just about when he can find the back of the net, not if, because he yeah, no, he is a phenomenal
Yeah,
footballer. What has sort of gone wrong with him in terms of finishing?
honestly, I really don't know. I think there's a mix of things, and I think it does happen with strikers. You have these spells. It is inevitable. I think if you look at his game time before he joined Blues, I don't think he had much at all. I think since January he maybe had a few games. He was playing in France, didn't do a lot. Can't remember the team we actually got him from. Rennes, maybe.
I think it
Um,
was Ren.
yeah, didn't play a lot of football at all. Obviously had a full pre-season. I think he had a bit of an injury, maybe a shoulder one, but he came into that Ipswich game on fire, scored a tap in against Sheffield United, and then we thought, great, we're cooking. But I think it. I'm not sure if it coincided with the time where our formation started changing and we weren't 100% sure and not playing great. But I think it. No, I think it was actually a game against Oxford where he just snatched at a couple of his chances. Probably should have. We won that game 1-0. Probably should have been about 4-0, maybe. And you could see him just lacked a bit of composure. And then over time, it's just you can just tell he'll do a beautiful move. I can't remember which team it was against, right? But he brought the ball down on the edge of the box, took three players out of the game, was in front of goal, looked up and went, oh, and like totally scuffed it, spooned it wide. So I just think there's a little bit of a confidence crisis going on there. And we played Wrexham away, thought it was going to end there. And again, you can see the player that's there. He was marginally offside and scored a beautiful, like the finish was exquisite. And you can see him talking to Chris Davis after, like it must have been. You can see how frustrated he is with himself, even in the air. I could go on about it for ages, right? But his movements, his movement is amazing, but his finishing at the minute is lacking. And the times where his finishing has been absolutely on point, his movement has been quite right. It's been quite offside. It's really, really frustrating. But the Blues fans can all see it. We're all really supportive of him, and I think he's such an entertaining football player to watch. When he's up and running, he's the type that like people will get his name on the back of the shirt. The kids will be like saying, oh, "This is who I am." I used to do it with Mikel Forsell when I was younger, and I'm sure you've you've had some players too. But he's the type of player that will like really make you fall in love with football.
Yeah, that's what I think. That's a great way to sum him up because every time I've seen him, like you say, he's been really good. It's just that finishing touch that just
Yeah,
he can't seem to get right. But again, like you say, it might well be a confidence issue. I think we've got the same issue with Sargent at the minute. Yeah,
Sergeant.
hasn't
Yeah,
yeah he hasn't scored since August, but he does all the hard work. But it just gets a limited amount of chances just because how poor we are going forward. But yeah, again with Sargent, you never know. It might start clicking this weekend for him because he is a man sort of waiting for a goal. I am sort of intrigued on
mm.
Patrick Roberts, another ex Norwich loanee who was stinking at Norwich. Absolutely honking for us. He scored a hat trick in pre-season against Luton Town, and that's the only memory I'll have of him. But he seems to be quite the man on form at the minute.
He is a wonderful human being. I think Sunderland fans love him. When did you have him on loan?
It was our Premier League season under Daniel Farker, 2019-20.
Okay, so yeah, he might have been what early 20s
Yeah, early
around
20s at that
then.
point.
Maybe he just had to. He's kind of matured a little bit, but the thing I like about him is he's like I compare him to Chris Burke when we had him in 2011, 2012. He's very direct, loves to cut inside, and he's an absolute nuisance. You can just tell centre backs hate this guy. You know, like he's just he's got such quick feet, and the way he moves on the edge of the box, like everyone else is panicking. He creates loads already. He's only recently kind of started getting a place in the starting lineup. It feels like recently anyway, but he's brilliant. You know him. You got Damara Gray on the other wing, but I think out of all out of all of our wingers, he's definitely been the most impressive, and I think he's had the highest output so far. So yeah, and again, Sunderland fans loved him. I think he's just a really special player.
Yeah, he's one I'm definitely fearful of going into the weekend. Is there anyone else in that Birmingham City side that Norwich fans should be slightly cautious of?
I think we've got a lot of good players, but there's one that has come in recently, returned from injury, that seems to bring the attack together, and it's Marvin Dusk. He has, as I said, been struggling with some injury issues since we signed him in the summer. He's got great numbers in the Bundesliga. I think really high assist. I think he had like 15 GA maybe. Um, don't quote me on that, but yeah, I think it was like one less than Sesko. You can just tell he's an intelligent footballer. The I think one of the maybe the first game he started since he got injured in the warm up at Coventry, he took the ball down and spun and won a penalty in like the 3rd minute, which Stansfield missed. He just he kind of it's quite subtle, I think, when you see a player with intelligence. And I think watching Blues for so long, it's a bit easy to spot them because they don't come too often, really. But you could just see the things he does, like the way he takes on the ball. You can almost see he's planning the next move in front of him. Whereas I'm used to watching players who receive the ball, take it, think, and then and then put it somewhere. He's physical, but he's really good with his feet. I think he's going to be an absolute nuisance. He brings other players into the game as well. It's not like, and again, I love him, but it's not like a Lyndon Dykes who is just going to win headers and bring the ball down. He's kind of an all-round player, in my opinion, and I don't think we've really seen the best of him yet. He's played a couple of games, but again, this is kind of when he's come in, it's almost been where our form has turned. I think he got brought in maybe that first 4-0 win. But yeah, he's definitely one to watch for me.
Yeah, no. I can remember when you signed him, I was gobsmacked that his output in the Bundesliga was ridiculous. To get picked up by a championship club is very very good, and yeah, I can only expect big things from him. And obviously now that he's back from injuries, I can imagine he'll have a cracking season. What Norwich players are you slightly fearful of, if there are any? I can imagine there's probably not many at this current stage of the season.
No, I mean it's with all due respect, I haven't seen a lot of. of output from your guys. And weirdly, the one former Norwich player I've seen a lot of is that Plaqueta at Oxford. He
Christ.
just seems to be absolutely doing bits, and he only scores screamers for some reason. But yeah, I think for me it's obviously Sargent. Like it's just I there's quality there. It's a bit like Kyogo with us, like you said earlier. Like it's just because he hasn't done a lot this season yet doesn't mean he isn't the player that he is. And under a new manager, every player is going to be thinking, "Here we go." Even subconsciously, you're all thinking, "This is a fresh leaf now. Let's go." And we've got to stop that. I watched your game against Hull, and I thought you looked incredible. And it was just kind of typical that you concede against a run of play. The fans all get moody, and then you lose the game. It's just typical. So I think you're going to want to quieten us down, and we kind of need to nip this in the bud with the whole new manager bounce. We need to make sure we're in it from the get go because I'm worried about that. But yeah, Sargent, 100%.
Yeah, he is a man that is patiently waiting for his goal, and he's been waiting for way too long, if you ask me. But yeah, I'm hoping in the next couple of weeks he can get off the mark because it's been a long time since we've seen a Josh Sargent goal. But we do like to do a little quiz on the Bleed Norwich opposition previews where we ask you, can you name 5 players that have played for Norwich and Birmingham? There is quite a few for this one, and some that absolutely shocked me that even played for you.
Okay. Well, I'll say Plaqueta because you loaned him to us.
Yeah, he's one.
Um, Redmond because we sold
Yeah,
Redmond to you, Nathan Redmond. Cameron Jerome.
yeah, Cam Jam. Yeah,
Wade Elliott.
Wade Elliott. Oh God, I haven't.
I
I'm gonna
swear
have to.
you.
He might have been Wade Elliott.
Wait, I swear I see him in a Norwich kit in my head.
No, no, he never played for Norwich.
I burnt. I
Yeah,
was at Burnley.
Burnley,
I could
Bristol
have
City.
swore.
I think we had
Who
Elliot. We
was
had
it?
Elliot Ward, not Ward Elliott.
Go. Who was it? Jerome, Redmond,
Plachetta.
Plaqueta. Are they the only ones I've got?
Yeah, you need 2 more.
Um, oh, look, Grant Hanley.
Grant Hanley. Yeah,
That was again recent. Oh, come on. This can't be
I'll give you a
those. This
clue. We
can't
we
be
we we
those.
we spoke about him earlier in this video.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh my God.
he was. I feel like if I say anything more, I'll just give it away.
We spoke about him earlier.
Yeah, yeah, one of your informed players at the minute.
Oh, of course. Patrick Roberts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Patrick Roberts.
Okay. Oh, there's got to be loads. I'm
Yeah,
disappointed in myself.
you got the likes of Kieran
Oh,
Down.
oh, Kieran Down. No, I had no idea about him. Oh, give me an era. Give me another like. Give me. Oh, is there any old ones? Give me a clue for another
Another.
before here.
Whoa. He's got um
Mm,
he's got a lovely little Norwich emblem tattoo on his shoulder.
really?
Yeah,
No, I wouldn't know that. I wouldn't know that.
he
Are there any other recent ones?
he's quite recent. He went to you on loan, and I believe the season after came back to Norwich, scored against you, and done a front flip in front of our travelling away fans, if I'm not mistaken. But I don't know if he
Uh,
played much for you.
what position?
He's a winger.
I tell you what, we've gone through so many through this whole banter era. We've gone through so many like obscure. Mm, no,
He
no.
joined in 2022 in January. He was with you for 6 months from Norwich.
2022 in January, and it weren't. Hmm. No, who was it?
It was Onel Hernandez.
Oh, Of course. Bloody hell, what a throwback.
God, there
Yeah,
is a
he was decent. He played a few games. He did play a few games for us. He was decent. We
yeah.
quite
He
liked
liked
him.
scoring at St Andrews for Norwich, but
Did Rob Hall play for you?
Rob Hall. Oh, I'm not
Mm,
sure.
no.
There is a goalkeeper that was your number one. Oh, I think the day you got relegated, if I'm not mistaken, that was also
Oh, John Ruddy, of
John
course.
Ruddy. Yeah, John Ruddy. Yeah, there's Alex Pritchard as well.
Oh my God. Oh,
Uh,
I've had a stinker here. I've had a
Lee
stinker.
Lee Camp, Kyle Lafferty.
I was thinking, did Lee count? Cole Lafferty, what a throwback that is.
I'll always
Oh,
remember
oh,
Kyle.
oh.
Oh,
No, no, no. I just had another one that was, but he didn't play for you.
you did get
Go
five
on,
though.
give me the rest. Give me the
That's all.
rest.
That's all I got. I had Kieran Dow, Grant Hanley, Patrick Roberts, Onel Hernandez, Shemislav Waheta, John Ruddy, Lee Camp, Alex Pritchard, Cameron Jerome, and Kyle Lafferty, and then Nathan Redmond as well.
Wow.
So there is a whole. That's just from
Redders.
recent years. But yeah, Kyle Lafferty, I was absolutely shocked with as well, and I completely forgot that Onel Hernandez had a loan spell with you guys as well. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Steve Bruce. Steve
Steve.
Bruce played for you.
Yeah, Steve Bruce is a club legend.
Oh
He's a
my God,
club
there's so
legend.
many. Dan
Yeah,
Burn.
yeah. There's
Oh, that
a
says the Newcastle. Yeah.
there is a yeah there is a whole host of them. Yeah, we done one
Wow.
with a
Wow.
Hull fan a couple of weeks ago, and blimey, that was difficult. There was barely anyone.
Really?
Yeah, it was it gets tough for some championship clubs. I've got Oxford next in midweek, and I can name two players that have played for Oxford and Norwich off the top of my head. So that's going to be a tricky one. But just to finish up the
Yeah.
opposition preview, what is your score prediction going into Saturday?
At home, I've got to be confident. I think. Oh, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 2-0. I'm gonna go 2-0. Yeah, I'll put my neck on the line. I ain't gonna sit on the fence. I'll go 2-0. I'm gonna hope we keep a clean sheet against you. We're organised defensively now. Neumann's, got his place. That was a big thing as well. But him and Clara are absolutely rock solid. Yeah, I think we'll be good. It's just that kind of central midfield area. I'm gonna go 2-0. I'm gonna. Oh, I can't. I'm not gonna jinx him. I'll go Stansfield and um, Doyle.
Okay, I'm gonna have to try follow my heart rather than my head here. My head does say a Norwich loss, absolutely, but my heart is saying a 1-1 draw, and I fancy Sargent and Kyogo both to score, both to
Would
end their
love
droughts.
Kyogo to score, but not at the. I want when he scores. I want it to be like a 90th minute winner, limbs.
Yeah,
Oh, it would be good.
that is a.
But whatever happens, if you are you going?
Unfortunately, I can't make it.
No. Well, if you whoever is going, if we do happen to win, yeah, good luck to the rest of the season, whatever. But if you see them, if there's if some limbs in the Tilton, they're just absolutely unreal. So maybe you'll get to witness them. But I'm sure, obviously, you won't want to see any at all.
Yeah,
We shall see. But fingers
yes,
crossed, you don't get the bounce initially. Get the bounce next week.
yeah. That's it. There's always next week. I mean, to be fair, we do need
Yeah.
we need points on the board quickly because we we are falling adrift. It's becoming
Uh,
quite the realization that relegation might be on the cards. But Joe, thank you very much for coming on today. We'll leave Brummie Joe's links all down in the description, so make sure you go check him out if you haven't already. Make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.
cheers.